In this video, we're going to install the ridge beam that will support the roof rafters over the porch itself. This ridge beam will be made out of 2x10s that I cut on the mill instead of LVL board beams. The 8-foot span of the porch allows me to use some of my own lumber because I can span that without any joints or splices. So this video, you're going to see me right now I'm installing a center beam that will be attached back to the building and will hold this section of ridge beam on that end. So let's watch that for a little bit. You see me do a lot of measuring here, and double measuring and plumbing and making sure things are plumbed, but it's real important at this point that that beam is in the center of the building and matches up with the ridge beam from the main part of the building, so that my roof line just continues as if it was all one section. So I do a lot of figuring. Those LVL beams were 12 inches. Well, actually they're 11 and I think 7/8 or 3/4. I don't remember for sure. But of course I'm using 10-inch boards here, full 10-inch. So I had to adjust, and get that beam the right height so that I could use a 10-inch where in place of that 12-inch. So we'll watch that a little bit here. Now I measure out from the walls, both sides to the end of the building on the edges, to make sure they're equal, which they are. But then that's what I want to make my ridge beam, because if that center LVL beam happened to be bowed in any direction, it would be in or out. It's not going to bow up or down, but it could at this point be bowed in or out, and I need to make sure that we make sure there's no bows in it. Now right here what I'm doing is trying to find the center again for an upright that I have to put on this beam. And this is another reason why I chose the LVLs, because I knew that there was going to be a support beam for the ridge beam of the porch right in the middle of this beam that goes across, spans the porch. And if I don't want an upright there, which I don't want a column in the center of this porch, because I want a clear shot out across from off the porch out across to the mountain on the other side of the valley there, then I needed to make sure that that beam that spanned the porch was going to hold the weight of the roof And again, we're talking about an 8-foot section here. It's not like we're trying to hold the weight of that half of that whole roof. We're just dealing with 8 foot here because the main building holds the weight of the most of the roof. So right here, I'm figuring out where I need this support beam or this upright beam put that will hold the one side of the ridge beam.
Surrounding you and me will hold us together.
And you see me do a lot of checking with the level and plumbing things up. Is that beam plumb? Is it tilted one way or another? So I'm checking all that out, and I check it out, as you can see, many times before I finally nail things down, or in this case, timber lock things solid. But if I do that now, then I won't run into problems in the future. Matter of fact, I wasn't real happy with this beam being plumb, so I did end up backing out the timber locks and doing some shimming to get this exactly the way I wanted it. Again, taking the time to get this right, even though it wasn't off that much, but get it as perfect as you can get it. Then further on in the build, you're not going to run into an issue that you might not have seen coming. So that's why it takes me so long sometimes to get this stuff right.
Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. This picture of us here, it's just like a rearview mirror right before the crash. Man, I hate this old love song, but I'm the fool who turns it on like it can change the past. I'm not sinking in the whiskey, sipping on our history. It's a whole lot worse than that. Since you went away, I got one foot in the grave. Somewhere between the edge of being alive.
So before I put the ridge beam up, I was thinking I need to make sure I'm level across there before I build that ridge bed. So I got a 2x4 that was long enough and checked the level before I would go any further, and found out it was level, which made me pretty happy. And then we went on and started to build the ridge board out of like I said, 2x10s. So I screwed 2 of them together, the length I needed, and then we're going to put that up here in a second.
I got one foot in the grave. Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. Living like this makes dying less scary. Digging up bones, better left buried. Kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. My head's full of memories that pine box won't shut. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. A nail in the coffin of what's left of us. Since you went away, well, I got one foot in the grave.
Getting set up here to lift the ridge beam into place. Say this is only 8 foot long, but the double 2x10, full 2x10. So it was a little heavy. Wasn't real bad, but I was able to do it off the scaffolding and get it set without any incidents. I didn't put my famous boards up so that I wouldn't push it off one side or the other. So I must have had enough confidence at this point that I could handle this side board without getting hurt. And as you see here in a minute, we were able to do it without any real problems.
Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. This picture of us here, it's just like a rearview mirror right before the crash. Man, I hate this old love song, but I'm the fool who turns it on like it.
At this point, the most important thing would be, okay, does this ridge board now line up with the one from the main building as far as the top goes? And I need to get it centered, make sure it's centered in the building before I timber lock it down. At the same time, if that beam that spans the porch, that 20-footer, needs any thing pulled out of as far as a bow, this is where you need to do that. There was a wee little bit of a bow in there that I attempted to pull out, but that's what I'm doing now. That's all the measuring going on, trying to get it in the center of the building, and checked it for level, and it is level, and make sure it lines up as good as I can with the rest of the roof.
Since you went away, I got one foot in the grave. Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. Living like this makes dying less scary. Digging up bones, better left buried. Kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. My head's full of memories that pine box won't shut. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. A nail in the coffin of what's left of us. Since you went away, well, I got one foot in the grave. Somewhere scary, digging up bones, better left buried, kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Love cemetery. Love cemetery.
So after this ridge beam is installed for the porch, then of course we're going to come back and put up the final 4 ceiling rafters or roof rafters, whatever you want to call them. Then there is one additional 2x6 that I screwed back to the last rafter in the main part of the building to give me a nailer there that I don't have. But then from there, in the future videos, we're going to start sheeting this thing with the white pine boards that I have. So if you're interested in watching where this goes from here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I drop about 4 videos a week. And right now, this project is most of the videos. So see you in the next one.